It started like any typical whirlwind romance. Marissa met Jason on a rainy afternoon at a coffee shop downtown. She spilled her latte all over his laptop, embarrassed, apologizing 1,000 times, but he just laughed it off. He said it was fate. Within a week, they were texting every day. 2 weeks later, they were practically inseparable. Jason was perfect, or so it seemed. Thoughtful surprises, flowers on random Tuesdays, playlists he'd make just for her. Whenever Marissa doubted herself, he'd hold her hands, look her dead in the eyes, and whisper, "I'm your forever." Don't you know that by now? By the end of the 3rd month, he'd moved in. It was little things at first. Marissa would wake up and find him standing by the bed, just watching her sleep. If she stirred, he'd smile and say, "You're so peaceful. I could stand here all night." She'd laugh it off, but her stomach would twist in knots. Then she started noticing the cameras. Tiny black lenses hidden in the corners of their apartment. One in the living room vent. Another inside a teddy bear he'd given her. When she confronted Jason, he didn't deny it. He just pulled her into a hug so tight it hurt and said, "It's just so I can keep you safe, so I can always be with you, even when I'm not here." She should have left. Every sane part of her screamed to leave. But when she tried to pack a bag, Jason would show up in the doorway. That strange tilt to his head, eyes dark. "Why would you leave me, Marissa? After everything I've done for you? After everything you've promised me?" One night, she woke up to find Jason hovering inches from her face, breathing heavy. He whispered, "I love you so much it scares me. I think about how fragile you are, how easy it would be to lose you." His fingers gently traced her throat. Marissa lay there frozen, terrified to even swallow. She started staying late at work, finding excuses to avoid going home. But it didn't matter. Jason would be there, always waiting on the couch, smiling that hollow smile. Once she found him inside her office building, standing near the elevator, like he'd been there for hours. "I missed you," he said simply. It escalated the night of their anniversary. Jason prepared an elaborate dinner, candles everywhere. But there was something off about the food, a metallic tang that made Marissa gag. "Eat it," he urged softly. "I made it just for you." "I put my heart into it? Literally?" She laughed nervously until she saw the small smears of dried blood on his wrist. Her stomach turned. What did he mean by literally? After dinner, he led her into the bedroom, blindfolded her, told her he had one last surprise. She heard the closet door creak open, smelled something foul, like rotting meat. Jason whispered in her ear, "I wanted you to see how committed I am, that I would do anything for you, even get rid of the people who tried to come between us." He ripped off the blindfold. Inside the closet was a shallow pit dug into the carpet, lined with plastic. Marissa's coworker's bracelet, the same woman who'd been flirting with Jason at last month's happy hour, was half buried in dark, wet soil. Marissa's scream was so loud her throat burned. Jason just wrapped his arms around her from behind, shushing her. "Don't cry, baby. It was all for you. Everything I've ever done was for you." She tried to run. Jason was too fast. He grabbed her by the hair, pulled her close so she could see his wild, tear-filled eyes. "Why would you run from me? I'm the only one who truly loves you. The only one who understands how much you're worth." That night turned into a blur of pain. She woke hours later, tied to the bed. Jason sat cross-legged on the floor, knife balanced across his knees, softly singing their song. Whenever she drifted off, he'd shake her awake, smiling. "I can't stand the thought of you sleeping when I'm right here. You might dream of someone else." Days passed, or maybe weeks. Time lost all meaning. Marissa's body was covered in shallow cuts, tiny love notes, Jason called them. It's like carving our initials into a tree. Now we're etched into each other forever. He fed her by hand, bathed her like a child, whispered stories about their future, about the little house they'd buy in the woods where no one would ever bother them again. One morning, Marissa woke to silence. The ropes were loose. Jason was nowhere. She stumbled through the apartment, found the door wide open. She ran, down the stairs, into the street, screaming for help. Police found Jason hours later, sitting in their apartment surrounded by hundreds of printed photos of Marissa, sleeping, eating, showering, working. He'd been documenting her every moment for months. When they cuffed him, he didn't struggle, just looked up at them with sad eyes and said, "She'll come back. She loves me. She promised." Marissa moved 3 states away, changed her name, dyed her hair. Still, every so often, she wakes up in the middle of the night convinced someone is standing over her bed. Sometimes she finds little gifts left on her porch. Her favorite candy, a pressed flower, a Polaroid of her sleeping through a window. She tries to convince herself it's all in her head, that Jason is locked away or dead or gone forever. But deep down in the cold pit of her stomach, she knows. Some loves are forever, and Jason was always very, very good at finding her.